Hey, I'm Christine Gritman, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to win clients with live video. I'm going to break this down for you in terms of who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who can you help? What can you help them with? When are they going to make the decision to hire you? Where are they going to find you? Why will they spend their money on you? And how can they hire you? First up, who can you help? Sometimes who you're not for is as important as who you are for. A lot of people are scared to niche themselves because they worry that if their niche is too narrow, they'll be cutting themselves off from potential avenues of business. But it's not true. First of all, other people will find you no matter how clear you are about your niche. I promise you, people broader than that will find you. But more importantly, those people who find you will know other people who do need you. So be broadly findable, but also make it really, really clear what your brand positioning is, who you help, and how. The clearer you can be on who you are and who you serve, the better equipped you are to really own your niche and to come across as a rock star. And an accessible rock star, because you're on live video and you're communicating directly with people. They'll feel like they know you, and they get to feel like they're a part of your rock star community. So who do you want in that community? Who needs to be there? You need to think about them and their needs. Which brings me to, who are the decision makers who can actually hire you? And what does that person need to see? Being great on camera can definitely help you be more visible and score some points. But when it comes down to it, the people who are the decision makers who can actually give you money often need to see something a little bit more. They need to trust that you are the expert. An expert whose knowledge and capabilities are above and beyond whatever they already have in-house. They also need to understand and feel comfortable with your style, which is why live video is so great, because it's unedited and real. They really get a sense of who you are in a more unfiltered way, which leads them to trust you. They feel like they're in a room with you and get a sense of what it might be like to actually work with you. But bear in mind that being appealing and coming across as an expert are two very different things. And if you're trying to get clients out of your live streams, make sure that you're coming across as an actual authoritative expert and not just someone charming on their screens. What else is this person consuming? You need to stand out amidst that noise. Are they looking at other experts in your field? How about other experts in their field? You need to be looking too. Knowing who your competition is key to not really having any competition, because you are doing something that makes you stand out. And your use of live video is helping your target audience feel like they know you and trust you more than they might be trusting other people in your area who are not using live video. They feel more distanced from those people. They're only seeing them in sort of pre-edited messages. If you're coming across at them live, they feel like they really know you. There's something raw and real about live video, and it shows that this is who you really are. So make sure you're aware of who else's content they're consuming and who else they're trusting, and figure out what you can bring to the table with live video that is in line with that, but also helps you stand out. Now on to the what. What can you help them with? What are their pain points? If you want someone to bring you in to help them reach greater success, first you need to understand why they're not already doing that. What are the pain points that are blocking them from doing whatever it is that you're going to come in and help them do? What is preventing them from figuring this out themselves? You need to show that you get it and that it's a problem worth solving. Sometimes the answer to a blockage is to just find another way. But in this case, you want the answer to that blockage to be hiring you to help them through it. How can you demonstrate that you understand them? If you are industry specific, learn a basic level of lingo and jargon that isn't super unintelligible, but that at least shows that you understand what they're talking about, and so that you can understand them if they're using that type of language. You don't want to stop speaking in plain English or look like you're trying too hard. You just want a basic level so that it's clear that you're kind of a member of the same team. Make it clear that you can talk their talk, so they will want to walk their walk with you. For example, if I were specifically addressing an audience of medical professionals or finance professionals, I would make it clear to them that I understand that there are restrictions on what they can post on social media. So I'd talk to them about how what's ahead of us really is the creative challenge of figuring out how to really convey a unique brand within those strict parameters. Start with the solution first, what they would like to achieve. Feel like you're part of the solution. Feel like you're already there. Feel like you can see it so clearly for them, and so you know how to help get them where they want to be. If what they want is to be visible, make sure you're already visible where they want to be visible. If you can do it for you, they have greater confidence that you can do it for them. If what they want is authority, make sure you present yourself as one and increase that impression with every broadcast. If they want to be approachable, funny, real, make sure you're conveying that, because whatever you put out there is going to vibe with the right people and turn off the wrong ones. Make sure you know what it is that the right people are going to resonate with and want for themselves. When are they going to make that decision to hire you? Yep, it's a cliche for a reason, but the thing that is ultimately going to make people not only watch your live streams, but also to actually hire you is to work up that know, like, trust factor. Know means that you've become so familiar to them that not only do they know who the heck you are, but they almost feel like they know you, even if they haven't actually met you in real life. You're a part of their world. Live video is the best way to achieve this because it's unedited and they feel like you're talking right to them. They feel like they're in the room with you. In fact, if they comment on your live broadcast, you actually can talk right to them, which is incredibly powerful. People get such a kick out of it when you call up their comment on your live broadcast. Like means that they find your manner, your way of presenting yourself, your personality, and the information you're presenting as appealing to them. They've self-identified themselves as kind of a member of your fan club. They're a part of your community. They like you. They enjoy being a member of your tribe, and something about you resonates with them. Trust comes with establishing your expertise. Ideally, you can give them some piece of advice that will ultimately be successful for them, so that they've seen for themselves that they can trust that your advice is worth taking, and hopefully that you are worth trusting with their business. Get by giving is exactly that. Generally, people aren't just going to hand money over you just because you seem smart. They're not going to trust you with your needs if you haven't already shown them that listening to you is good for them. A lot of people misunderstand this part. They worry that if they just give away their best insights or ideas or techniques, that people aren't going to pay them because they'll figure, why buy the cow if you're getting the milk for free? But that's not actually how it works at all. It is by giving something of value that affects real change for your audience that you prove that you are someone worth trusting and worth paying. But also, make it clear what you do for a living. If you solely establish yourself as a wonderful source of free information, that's all you're ever going to be. Make it clear what you do, who you serve, and how. That can take literally one sentence. That can be presented on all of your social media platforms if you don't feel comfortable stating it outright in your videos. But you do have to direct people with your videos to those other online properties that can explain a little bit more for them about who you are and what you do. Let the places where you can be found online make it really, really clear what you do for a living and how people can hire you, so that you don't have to be quite so forthright about it in your videos, which are really about establishing trust. You can give out a ton for free without being a full-on volunteer by making it really clear what you do to support yourself. That also burnishes your professional credibility, right? The fact that you do this for a living and you're not just some talking head on the internet is going to not only make it clear to people that they can actually hire you and they should actually pay you money because you do this for a living, but it also makes you seem like that much more of an authority. It brandishes that trust factor by showing that you're not just some rando on the internet. You're an actual professional who they should trust and hire. Where are they going to find you? What platform or platforms are you going live on and publicizing on? Now, these can be different platforms. I know a lot of people don't have LinkedIn Live access yet, but if you don't have LinkedIn Live access, but your community is really on LinkedIn, publicize your Facebook Live videos on LinkedIn. There's no reason you can't do that. Publicize your videos wherever you have an audience and then drive that traffic to wherever it is that you're actually going live. Please don't make the mistake of thinking that the only platform where your live videos can be of value is the platform on which you're broadcasting. You can absolutely bring your audience over from other platforms to your live stream and burnish your professional cred by showing that you are a live streamer. That gives them a little bit more information about your brand. It shows that you're knowledgeable. It shows that you're confident enough to go live without a net. And it can be overall a really great way to keep those brand impressions building on each other because they can tune into all of your live streams and your replays. Beyond that, Facebook and YouTube are pretty popular platforms on which to go live, but if you build it, they will not come. If you have no YouTube audience, you can't just start going live and expect an audience to just crop up around you. Instagram Live is also growing in popularity, but it's a fundamentally different live video experience than someplace like Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. But if Instagram is where your audience is and it's where they'll really engage, go for it there. So choose your platforms to go live on, but remember that that's not the only decision you have to make. You also have to decide which platforms you're going to promote your live streams on, since it's entirely possible that the people you want to be visible to aren't necessarily on the platform where you'll get the most live viewers. You may need to guide them there. You can also multi-stream. Some programs do it natively, but what I do is I use Ecamm and I have the destination set to Restream, which is a third-party tool. And then on Restream, I can set my destinations as Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. There's a whole bunch of other options. You can go on Twitch, you can go on Periscope, and it all goes live at the same time to all of those platforms. Whatever you do, don't just go live. Publicize it before, during, and after. The most basic way to do this is simply to post about it, but one post isn't going to do it. Talk about it a little bit more than feels natural or normal to you. Feel like you're talking about it too much, because keep in mind, not everyone sees every post. So make sure that people have a greater opportunity to actually get the memo. And again, you don't have to stick to the platform where you're actually going live. If you're going live on Facebook, make sure you're posting about it on LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram if that's where your audiences are. On Facebook too, there are a lot of different options to promote. You can pre-schedule your live video link either through Creator Studio or through Ecamm Live. Pre-scheduling creates an announcement post. That announcement post is actually going to turn into the live video at the time that you go live. So you can take that announcement post and you can share it. You can share it in an event, you can share it in groups, you can share it whatever you like. And every place that you shared it, they can then watch that live video at the destined time. You can create a Facebook event, invite people to it, and then share that announcement post in there so that it becomes a live video when you actually go live and people can watch it right from the event. You can also create watch parties. One thing that I like to do is I'll go live from my page via Ecamm on my computer, but then on my phone, I will start a Facebook watch party as my personal profile. You can also start a watch party in groups. Though if you are spreading the word about your live stream in groups, really do check on the rules of the individual group. A lot of groups have rules about posting promotional posts, and this could certainly be seen as that. You can create stories in Instagram or in Facebook talking about the video and letting people know when and where you'll be going live. You can even do a whole promo video. You can do a video that's like a minute long, talking about what your live stream is going to be about, when it is, and why people should go watch it. And then you can post that promotional video on Instagram, on LinkedIn, wherever you want. Make sure people know that you're going live and how they can watch it. And make sure the right people know in the right places, not just on the platform where you're actually going live. Replays and repurposing are a really key way to both give and get value from your live stream after it airs. Most views actually happen on the replay, since not everyone is going to be available or even aware when your broadcast actually airs live. Keep that in mind and try not to solely play to your live audience. It is good to interact and engage with them, but you want to make sure that you're offering value to the replay audience as well. Though again, engaging with your live audience might show those replay viewers, hey, I want to make sure I catch this person's next live broadcast when it's actually airing, because then maybe they'll engage with me too. Much like that initial announcement post and link, you can share your replay link far and wide. You can even embed it on your website, or you could download that video and upload it to another site like YouTube. One thing that I love about Ecamm is that it automatically records my live videos, so I have that file there to repurpose however I want. I usually upload that to YouTube after going live on Facebook. Another thing you can do with that file is you can chop it up into little segments, and you can use that as a whole bunch of different social media posts. You can take like a minute or so of that video, and suddenly you've got a whole bunch of videos that you can use to promote whatever you want on whatever platforms that you want. If you just want to promote a single service or a single topic that is among the many that you covered on your live broadcast, use that little video and make an ad out of it. You've done the work. The work happened in the live video. So now you can just continue to spin off of that. You can even make a blog post summarizing what you talked about in the live video and then embed that actual video within that blog post so that you still get the views. Post links on social media, leading people to that blog post. So you're still using social media, but you're using it to guide them to something you actually own, which is your website, unlike the social media platform where you don't really own that traffic. And if they're coming to your own website, it's a lot easier for them to click around and learn a lot more about your services or contacting you directly. You can even include that information at the bottom of the blog post if you like. Another thing you can do is you can add captions to the replay. Captions are a great way to ensure people who don't necessarily feel like clicking the sound video or maybe aren't in a position where they can, they're on mobile or something, they can read your video. They can still experience your video. You still get the views, but they don't have to click on the sound. Now, there's two ways you can do that with a live video replay. One of them is that some of the platforms, including Facebook and YouTube, have a captioning tool. You can click to have it auto caption, but I do highly recommend going in and editing those auto-created captions because I typically find a lot of mistakes there. I use an external captioning tool and make my captions all nice and exactly how I want them. Then I download the SRT file. Then I go into my Facebook edit video and I upload that SRT file. The SRT file just contains the captions. So I've uploaded the SRT file. It has now put that, it's linked that to my video, but I don't lose any of my live video analytics. It's still, the video itself is untouched. I still have those live analytics. It still is the way it is. It's going to perform just as well for me if I hadn't done that, but now it has captions. So hopefully it'll perform even better because now more people can experience it. Okay, so we've got them watching. Now, why are they going to actually hire you? Okay, I talked about this earlier, but if you're giving them so much for free, why are they going to pay you money? Again, it comes down to know, like, and trust. If you're the one they trust, you're the one they're going to hire. Become the obvious option. It's like if someone has a brother-in-law in a certain business. When someone needs that service, that brother-in-law is definitely going to be one of the quotes that they're going to compile because there's a relationship there. They would feel outright weird not offering that business to their brother-in-law. So if you're the person who they know, they like, they trust, maybe they didn't even realize that they needed the service that you provide until they started following your videos and saying, you know what, I might need that. Or maybe they do already know, but they've been hesitant to hire somebody, or maybe they hired somebody who didn't do a great job. If you have become the person they trust, their go-to authority, you're going to be the obvious person to hire when they're ready to spend money on this. I call it a relationship because when you go live, again, people feel like they know you. You're speaking directly at them in an unfiltered, unedited way. No matter how well you plan your live stream, maybe you have a little teleprompter and everything, though most people don't do that. The fact is, anything can happen. You're putting yourself vulnerably out in front of the world in that unfiltered way. That takes bravery, that takes confidence, and that makes people feel like you're being vulnerable and real with them so they know you. So even if you've never met them in real life, you have a relationship with them. It may be a little one-sided, but you have a relationship with them. And you're going to become the one who they think of to call. The fact that you're coming to them live, raw, unfiltered, unedited, real, means that they're going to trust that you're going to give it to them straight and that you know what you're talking about because you're kind of doing it off of the top of your head. So if they keep tuning in to see you, to hear you, and to learn from you, you're going to be that obvious choice when they need the service that you offer. Just make sure that they don't have to dig too hard to figure out how to hire you or for what. You're not just a volunteer or an internet personality, you're running a business here. So, how can they hire you? Where can they find more information on you? More content from you, more information on your background, more information about your services. How can they find all of that? Please don't make them dig too hard. You want to encourage them to get even more of those brand touches, the gazillion times at this point that someone needs to encounter you and your brand before they get that know, like, and trust factor and before they're ready to make that purchase decision. The more sources you can direct them to that give them information, especially consistent information that creates a really cohesive puzzle of who it is that you are and what your brand represents and what you can do for them, the better. So make sure you are findable. Your other social media profiles, your website, your LinkedIn profile, which is basically a really humanized and powerful version of a resume. And make sure that all of those other places that they can find you clearly convey 3 key things. 1, Yes, this is the same person whose live streams you've been watching. Make them feel like you are the same person who they already know, like, and trust, so that they don't feel like you're a big faker. 2, here's what this person actually does for a living, beyond just showing up on your screen. And 3, here's how to contact you, because they can't hire you if they don't know how to reach you. You can mention on your live streams where else they can find you or how they can contact you. And you can also use the text of the post that your live stream appears on, whether it's part of the initial announcement of the live stream when it's upcoming, or even editing the post after your live stream airs, or in the post wherever you share it. Anywhere. Those are all great places to let them know where they can find more information on you. You can even straight up say in your video, if you want more information on this, here's how to reach me. Don't be untouchable if you want to be hired. Also, make sure you're fully aware of what else they'll find when they look you up independently. It all needs to feel like you, and you need to be fully in control of that image. What other content do you have out there? And will it strengthen or weaken that overall impression that your live streams have created? Go into incognito or private mode on your browser so that your browser doesn't know that you're you, and Google yourself. Look yourself up on different social media platforms. See what people who aren't you find. See what that trail looks like. You might be surprised by what's up there. What are people finding? Does it create the impression that you want? And is it all leading to a way that people can actually contact you? Be as contactable as possible. Also, be as easy to hire as possible. Make it really clear who you are, what you do, and how they can hire you to get some of that brainy goodness for themselves. You do not have to pretend you're a volunteer. You are a professional. This doesn't make you unrelatable or salesy. If you do it right, it presents you as being even more worth listening to on your live streams and one-on-one when they actually hire you. Just make it clear what you actually do. As for what I actually do, I help small business owners, solopreneurs, and independent employees manage their own social media better, more efficiently, more effectively, and in a way that fits into their existing flow of business. You can email me at christine@gritman.com.